Welcome to the Onion Buns. So, as you've heard, Mark Carney and the Liberals had their attack dog, the Globe and Mail, or one of their attack dogs. They got a few of them. They fund them with taxpayer dollars, after all. So they got the Globe and Mail to write just a basic attack article on Poilievre. And it wasn't anything new. It had already been disproven. It had already been debunked. There was no smoke. There was no fire. But Carney is betting that the people out there are too stupid to look into it and are just going to continue to take him at his word. And granted, there is a number of people, I know some, who do exactly that. And it frustrates the hell out of me. But, I'll tell them the truth and they'll go, source, 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 and so I point them to my videos. I'm not watching that. Well, you wanted a source. Nope. What's the source? What's the source? Like, they don't care what the sources are. They've made their mind up not to believe anything. So, unfortunately, this is the world we live in, and the left wing is a mental disease right now. But anyway, so a reporter asked Pierre Poilievre about this, and it's very obvious Poilievre was prepared, and he turned the tables on Carney. And now, nothing Poilievre is saying here is news either. It's just it hasn't been reported by the mainstream media. The mainstream media has been hands off on Carney. They won't ask him tough questions. They won't ask him about anything. So Poilievre put it out there. And like I said, this is not news to anyone who actually follows this stuff. Like, this has been out there. It's been proven already. It's fact. But it hasn't been put on the mainstream media. So there's that whole section of people that only get their news from the mainstream media. So they don't know anything about it because their handlers, for lack of a better word, have not told them what to think and what to say today. So anyway, let's watch Poilievre really take it to Carney here. Like, the gloves are coming off now.
Hi, Pierre. I'm Surya from Y Media.
Yes, sir.
So, Globe and Mail has done a story on election interference on conservative leadership campaign. What are your comments on that?
Well, first of all, let's quote from that Globe and Mail article. I'm going to quote here. The CSIS also did not have evidence that Mr. Poilievre or members of his inner circle were aware of these alleged actions. Then I'm going to quote the Hogue Commission, and I quote, "The Commission heard testimony about allegations of the government India interference in the Conservative Party leadership race. CSIS witnesses noted that they had no reason to believe the impacted candidates would have been aware of the alleged support." Let's be honest. I won the leadership fair and square. Even my political competitors, like Mr. Patrick Brown, have publicly testified under oath that that was the case. But I'm glad that the Liberals put this attack out today. Really glad. Because there's something that's really been worrying me. After Justin Trudeau named Mark Carney his economic advisor, giving him massive power over public policy in Canada, Mr. Carney went over for meetings in Beijing where he just had secret talks with the deputy governor of the Chinese Central Bank. 2 weeks later, Brookfield got a $250 million loan. What did they talk about? What did Mr. Carney in his role as Trudeau's economic advisor offer of China? Why would he be having secret meetings with top government-controlled bankers about getting a $250 million loan while he was supposed to be acting in Canada's interest as the Prime Minister's economic advisor? Why would he be collaborating with a hostile foreign regime that we have since learned executed 4 Canadians and took numerous Canadians hostage for a lengthy period of time? And given that Mr. Carney knows that he still owns massive financial interests in Brookfield, which owes a $250 million to a Chinese state-controlled bank, how do we know he's not going to act against our interests in favor of his financial interests?
We don't.
Why didn't he stand in front of this microphone and confess to Canadians that he owes the Chinese government that kind of money? Is this why he's covering up his financial interests? Mm-hmm. And given that China has murdered our people, taken our people hostage, how is he ever going to stand up to foreign interference when he is so financially compromised? We have never in our history had a weak, out-of-touch leader so terribly compromised and conflicted, whose interests go against our national interests. And I call on Mr. Carney right now to come before a microphone today and explain if this loan is still in place and if he still has those Brookfield assets that he had up until a few weeks ago.
Of course he does.
Because we cannot trust someone. Could you imagine, while you're supposed to be advising Canada's Prime Minister on the well-being of our economy, going to a foreign regime that had executed Canadian citizens, taken Canadians hostage, that it had already been public that they had interfered in multiple elections. They've done incursions into our northern waters. Mark Carney will never be able to protect our national interests because he has massive financial conflicts of interest overseas. What we need now is not to give the Liberals a fourth term with a weak and compromised leader. What we need is a Prime Minister who will put Canada first for a change.
So yeah, there you have it. I'm not going to give you anything else today. I'm going to leave it at that. That's too powerful to water down with other things. What I am going to say, however, and you all can be free to look this up, it's all public record, what I'm speaking here. The Chinese issue with Carney did not start with Canada. When he was in the Bank of UK or Bank of England, whatever it's called, that's when his collusion with China started. And it's continued on. You saw I hope you guys have all seen Carney in the coal mine by now. If you haven't, please watch it. There is no more obvious evidence what and who Mark Carney is than that video. He is a dastardly, evil black hat villain down to his very core. But Poilievre's correct. He's completely compromised, and he has been for decades now. When Carney was blocking coal in Canada, and this goes with the Carney in a coal mine, he was mining coal in the States to sell to China on behalf of Brookfield. Now, China has the world's largest carbon footprint. Nobody else even comes close. And Carney was selling coal, the dirtiest form of energy, to China to increase their carbon footprint. Yet he'll tell you he's an environmentalist. Carney cut down 22,000 acres of Brazilian rainforest, but he'll tell you he's an environmentalist. Carney displaced an entire primitive culture. Nobody knows what happened to him. I can't find anything on the net. I've looked. Most likely, if history is any indication, they died, they turned into crime, or they became drug addicts. But Carney will tell you he's a hero. When he was blocking LNG and pipelines in Canada, he was building LNG and pipelines in Saudi and the Middle East. Yet he'll tell you he's an environmentalist. Mark Carney is probably the most evil politician I've seen in my 59 years of life in Canada. There's guys in the States that will rival him, and that's the States' problem. In Canada, Mark Carney is that evil guy, and we can't put him in power. We really can't. So anyway, that's the video for today. If you like the video, leave a like and subscribe. I'm trying to grow the channel, so a like, a subscribe, and a share does me wonders, and I really do appreciate it when you people do it. If you didn't like the video, leave a dislike. Always feel free to leave a comment in the comments section. Don't worry, I don't swing my cane too strongly anymore if I dislike your comment. And as always, pew 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 and shit. Thanks for watching. Bye.